Welcome to day 2 of RTI or at home schooling or whatever you want to call it. We're going to be continuing our short dive into trig. First day was ratios. Second day we did angles. Today we're going to find sides. The unfortunate part about today is, and some of you aren't going to like this, is we need a little bit of algebra to make this work. All right, I'm just going to jump in and start doing some examples and show you. You're going to need your calculator. If you don't have a scientific calculator, which most of you probably don't, I'm going to be teaching this from the perspective of using your iPhone. Here on the screen, we've got a triangle. All right, we know one side, we know one angle. Right, we know that it's a right angle. And we want to find out what the other side is. All right. So first, let's set up what we've got. Know what we've got. Know which trigonometric identity we want to use. So we're using this angle down here, up here in the upper left-hand corner, the 37 degrees. So the x is going to be opposite, and the 18 is going to be adjacent. So we've got adjacent and opposite. So we're going to use TOA. All right, so let's set this up. All right, we know we're going to be using the tan function. So this is going to be tan (37), all right, not arctan, regular tan 37 equals opposite, which is the x, over adjacent, which is 18. All right, take a look at that. All right, look at the angle, see where the x set. The x is opposite and the 18 is adjacent. All right, now we're ready to calculate the side. If in your calculator you type the number 37 and then go over and hit tan, not tan, hit this. It's going to be on the first level. It's not going to be on your second level. All right. It's going to be tan. It's not going to be this one. If it's this one, you have to switch from the first level to the second. So this is the one you want. You want to hit tan 37. You want to hit 37 first, then hit tan, and hit enter. And you should end up with 0.75, let's just call it 4. I did some rounding, equals x over 18. Okay, all I did was type in 37 and tan, and I got 0.75355, and I just rounded it to 4. Right. Next thing I want to do is solve for this. To solve for this, I want to cross multiply. All right? And this is the part that confuses some people. Remember, this is the same thing as 0.754 over 1. So if I cross multiply, x times 1 is just x. Okay? Then I cross multiply 0.754 times 18 is going to give me 13.5. That's your answer. That's the length of x. Problem number 2. I've got a triangle here with a hypotenuse of 15. It's got an angle over in the left-hand bottom corner of 46, and it's got a base of x. All right. The problem is to find out what is the length of x. All right. Since we're talking about the angle down here in this corner down here, all right, the x is going to be adjacent, and the 15th is going to be hypotenuse. So it's going to be cosine. All right, we've got adjacent and hypotenuse, which is the ka. Okay, so let's set this up. We know that we're going to be using cosine. Right? Inside of cosine, we're going to enter the angle. And this equals adjacent. Adjacent is the x. All right. And the hypotenuse is 15. All right. Put this in our calculator. In my iPhone, I hit 15. Then I hit the cosine button. I get 0.96592. Well, I'm just going to put it down as 6. Equals x over 15. All right, this is pretty quick. Remember, I've told you this is the same as being over 1. So x times 1 equals x. Cross multiply 0.96 times 15. I get 14.49. I'm going to call that 14.5. All right. If you have any questions, first thing I would suggest you do is just rewatch this portion of the video. Just rewind it just a little bit and rewatch this. Problem number 3. All right, we've got an angle with hypotenuse 14 and an opposite side of x. All right, and we're supposed to calculate and see what x is. So for this one, we've got 14 degrees, we've got 14, we've got x. So let's check out and see what which function, which identity we use. All right, 14 is down in this corner, 14 degrees. So everything is from that perspective. So we're going to have the x, which is opposite, and we're going to have 14, which is the hypotenuse. So we want to use sine. All right. Let's set this up. Sine 14, we enter the angle in the parentheses, equals opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite is going to be the x over the hypotenuse, which is 14. A common mistake when you first start doing trigonometry is to write these upside down and get it wrong. Take your time with it and just think about what you're writing. You know that it's going to be this sine function up here. It's going to be opposite, and the opposite is x over 14. If you do that upside down and make it 14 over x, it's going to be totally wrong. All right. First thing I want to do is, in my calculator, hit 14 and then sine. I'm going to get 0.242 equals x over 14. I cross multiply. I get x equals 0.242 times 14. Because I'm cross multiplying like this, I get 3.38. I'm just going to call it 3.4. All right, we're up to number 4. I'm hoping all of you are still watching this, because this has got a different twist than the first 3 problems as far as the algebra goes, and I just want to make sure that you see this. All right. Let's look at what we've got here, right? We've got 27 degrees, the angle that we're looking at, and we've got a hypotenuse of x, and in respects to the 27 degrees, we've got an adjacent side. So we've got adjacent, which is the 18, and we've got the x, which is the hypotenuse. Adjacent, hypotenuse, we're going to be using cosine, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and bring that out, cosine. I put the angle in the parentheses, equals, think about what we've got here, adjacent over hypotenuse. So the adjacent is 18. The hypotenuse, the long line that we're trying to calculate, is x. All right, let's do the math on this. Cosine 27, I hit 27, then I hit the cosine button, and I get 0.89. 0.891, we'll go ahead and call it 0.891, equals 18 over x. All right, watch what happens here when we cross multiply. All right. Okay, when we cross multiply, we get 18 on the left, and we get 0.891x on the right. Okay? To calculate for this, now you've got to get x by itself. To get x by itself, you have to divide by 0.891 on both sides. The reason you do that is the numbers on this side cancel out, and you're just left with x. All right? 18 divided by 0.891 gives you 20.2. All right? So you go up here. That's what x equals, 20.2. So you got an extra step in there. If you end up with something that looks like this, 0.891x equals 18, remember, you have to divide by whatever the x is multiplied by on both sides. All right? Guys, if you have any problems with this, watch these videos again. If not, get in touch with me. I can give you a call, walk you through it. We're even working on some technology where we can teleconference. Maybe I can draw these in front of you. They're coming up with some really neat tools at school to get through this NTI period. Guys, I hope you're all okay. Hope all's well. I hope we get to see y'all soon. I'm kind of dubious at best on this date they got us coming back, but I'm hoping we do have some face-to-face time sometime the rest of this year. All right. Hope to hear from you soon, and please submit this homework that I'm sending you by Thursday. This is assigned for Wednesday, so I always give you, I'm going to make this a consistent thing. You'll have Wednesday and Thursday to do it and submit it back to me. All right. Have a good day.